Hello everyone, I am Kim with Abundant Life Tarot Academy, ALTA, and I wanted to provide an update concerning the course, Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection. And I worked on the course this weekend, making some edits to all of the spreads. There was 4 tarot spreads. And I did an overhaul after practicing with them, using their spreads, just looking at them and taking out random questions. And that's my process. That's what I do with my spreads. As I work with them over time, I refine them. And sometimes even when I'm using any spread, if I feel called to, I might change the question. And I always encourage you all to make the spreads your own, to change the questions as you feel you need to. But definitely just explore using them, because they do ask some questions that you can ask your decks, whether you use tarot, oracle, or both. You can ask questions to be able to see where you're at in your deck collecting journey. And I'm so excited because people have been sharing with me that, for example, new people are like, I have my new deck on the way to me, and they are excited about it. And I'm so jazzed to get those messages. I'm also happy to get the messages from my seasoned collectors saying, you know, thank you, because I now, feel this about my collection, or I now feel a sense of purpose with it again, or I'm reinvigorated now, and now I know what I want to add. It's just been it's been wonderful to hear that, because I just wanted to give this out of the, out of a place of love of cards, love of collecting. I'm a tarot reader, yes. And really and truly, I only need a handful of decks to get by, to do the job at hand. But at heart, I'm a collector. And so I saw people struggling with their collection at times. And I thought, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing to offer a way for us to kind of engage in our collection in a different way, right? So that's what we're doing here. And I'm excited because I overhauled the tarot spreads, or you could use oracle with them too. But I overhauled the spreads, made edits, and they are available for download in the course. And you don't have to take the course in order to have access to them, by the way. They are found in lesson 10 of the course, all of them. There is now a 5th spread. There was only 4. Now there's a 5th one, because I was inspired to do that after all of the edits that I was making. And that's what I do. I go back and refine the course content, and as things change, as I'm feeling called to. Also, I do live Zoom lectures, and I'm going to have an upcoming lecture soon for lesson 3, which is all about wish lists. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but I first wanted to talk about the spreads. So I encourage people to try out the spreads, because even if you're not a spreads person, you can still take some of these questions and just ask your deck, and just kind of do a kind of free throw, meditating on some of these questions and seeing what comes up as you do your reading for yourself. Now the questions, or not questions, I'm not going to go through the questions, because you can just go check those out at another time. And for brevity, I want to keep this video as short as possible. Let's see. Go to the main part where it tells you oh, there we go. So the spreads. The new one that I've created is your new deck interview spread. It's not your new, it's new deck interview spread. And that is when you first get a deck that comes, to your home. And it's like, how many people, lots of people have those new deck interview spreads. But this one is more tailored to questions about what's really going to happen with this deck in the collection, in the grand scheme of things. Not so much how to work with the deck. Because the reason I didn't think so much about it, even though there's a question that talks about the deck's strengths, but I have a spread that will address how to work with a deck. And how I approach buying decks or thinking about adding a deck is, do I have a reading where it would benefit from a new deck, benefit from a specific type of deck out there? And that's kind of what drives my purchases, especially now. There are some things that I do purchase still for just collector's sake, but for the most part, I'm always thinking about how can I incorporate this deck into my readings, particularly my client readings, since that's what I do majority of the time. I don't really do personal readings as much anymore, like I would love to, but that's okay. I consult the cards when I need to for specific things like this. So yeah, that spread, I just feel, to me, that asking questions like, oh, how should I work with you now that the deck is here, it seems a little too late, in my personal opinion. I think that question should be asked of your ride or die decks before the new one comes, before you even make the purchase, before you even make the decision to get it, because then you're going to have a deck that comes that maybe you're not even inclined to really work. What if it's a deck that's like really cerebral, or calls you to be really cerebral, or you have to really study it and it really calls for an intellectual understanding of it, and it's just and that's not really what you had in mind, and it turns out really that's not even your taste. You don't know that, but there are spreads in the course that'll help you figure that out before the deck even comes. Just a little tweak in how you approach your collecting. Not saying not to do it, not to go shopping. It's just saying, oop, let's ask those questions before it comes. Let's ask our tried and true trusted decks. So this new deck interview spread, I realized I didn't have a deck interview spread of when the deck actually lands in the home, when it actually is here. So now we have it. Deck collecting philosophy spread. So, oh my goodness, I love this one so much, because this helps you get to the bottom of, for you personally, what is your philosophy around procuring decks, around collecting them, around what your collection is all about. Then we have the Facing My Deck Collecting Habits Shadow Spread. Clearly by the name, that is dealing with our shadows that may come up surrounding collecting decks, and what are my personal shadows pertaining to that, collecting decks. So I really like that one. And then we have New Deck 2 Collection Interview Spread. Not to be confused with the New Deck Interview Spread. The New Deck Interview Spread, which is new, and it says so in the course, like materials included. The New Deck 2 the Collection Interview Spread is the one I mentioned before, which is, let me ask these questions of my Ride or Die deck on whether or not I should bring this new deck into our fold. Will this one get along with the rest of the crew? I don't know. Let's find out. And so that's what I was talking about. And I may switch the order and actually I might do that tonight before I go to sleep. But I got 2 readings before I go to sleep. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So that way, and I might even somehow differentiate. So that way you know the subtle difference is that this is you asking your other collection, your existing collection, your decks in your existing collection, on whether or not you should add a new one. And then finally, the Are We Still Cool Tarot and Oracle spread. That particular spread is all about asking a deck you've had in your collection for a long time, are we still cool? Are you ready to move on? Am I ready for you to move on? What's happening here? Or are we just in a little slump and maybe we just need to chill for a minute? You need to sit on the shelf for a while longer and we'll come back together. Or maybe it is time for you to move on. And so that spread is for our decks that we've had a while. Maybe it's a deck you never touched. You purchased it on a whim and it's just sat since you got it. Sat for like a year and a half and you don't know what you're going to do with it. Well, this is a spread that also can help with that situation too. Not just the situation of if you just haven't been using a deck for a while and it's been sitting and, you know, you used to love using it and now you don't. That is also, you know, helped in the Are We Still Cool Tarot and Oracle spread. So those are the 5 spreads that I have included in the course, and you are free to download them and use them as you wish, and you know, use one or all questions for each spread. It's up to you. So I touched upon it before. I am going to do another Zoom live lecture, but I will also be sure to send out an announcement closer to the time. It will be in October, most likely. Yeah, it'll be in October. It may be in late September, but my hunch is it'll be sometime in October. And I'm going to give ample notice so that people have an opportunity to sign up to join me. It's usually for like 45 minutes to an hour. And if you're not able to join me, you can also submit questions to be discussed during the Zoom Live. You don't have to be present, but you can definitely email me or send me your questions through the course. There's a place for that. You can send me your questions that way, and then I'll be sure to discuss the questions and answers in the lecture that will be coming up. The lecture will specifically be discussing what's on your deck wish list and why. And so this is all about your wish list. And we'll even, if I can, I will, or if I remember, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lesson, like a, you know, what my lecture is going to be on. So more than likely this will be a part of it. We'll look at my own wish list and whether or not I need to cull it, like trim it down. Because I tried trimming it down like a week ago, but I think more could come off, I'm sure. So we'll explore that and more and much more, because this course is exciting, or this lesson 3, because this is something that's tangible that many of us already participate in. We already have wish lists, but you can make that wish list work for you even more. And it has been a powerful tool for me in my depth year, because when I really want to buy a deck, I'm like, wait, pause, especially if it's mass market. I say pause, put that baby on your wish list. You know, so, and I'll show you also why I get a lot more bang for my buck out of my wish list now more than ever. Not just because of my depth here, but there's other little things I track on there. And you can look at the lesson bullet points for lesson 3. There's lesson 3A, 3B, and 3C. And look at those, and that'll kind of give you an idea what the lecture is going to be about. But the lecture is really definitely an opportunity for me to give some additional thoughts on this like topic, and then an opportunity for those who have questions. They could submit their questions and get some answers, or talk to me and be a part of the live. And like I said, I want people to have an opportunity to join me. The first lecture I did was more out of practice to just try it with Zoom and see how it goes. This time around, I definitely want the students to come along and chat with me and engage with me and talk about their collection if they want, or talk about their deck wish list if they would like. And yeah, and then just know that that will be part of the course, just like the lecture for lesson 2 is. So there's that. And yes, the course doesn't have I have created a certificate, and the problem is it's difficult for me to know who has completed the course. So I realized that the reason why that's difficult is because that's a limitation. I have to actually pay a premium price for that ability to just be able to see who has taken all of the modules and who's ready to get their certificate to show that they've graduated. I am at a point now where I'm ready to make that investment, like in the next month or so. So if you've taken the course, you may at some point get a certificate once I'm able to see all of that data. I can't see it right now, but it is a costly thing for my business to endeavor on, but I do want to teach, and that's where I'm called to go with my tarot journey. That's like going to be part of my journey is working with software to help to teach others. So that will be happening. So stay tuned for certificates and the like. It's just right now, that's not what I have. I only know of one person who actually said, hey, I have taken all the courses. She posted that. So I will be sending her something special soon. And so with that, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick Abundant Life Tarot Academy Alta update because it's been a while, and I wanted to let you know that the lectures are resuming. I'm excited about it. I'm going to create my little bullet points and things I want to discuss and share with you during the lecture. Please think of your questions and start submitting them, and then look out for the announcement of when the Zoom live will be. And I can't wait for it. And then also don't forget about the spreads. Check them out. Let me know how you're working with them or how they're working for you. Especially if you've tried them before. They were a mess before, but now they're much better. I'm so happy I had a chance to work on those this past weekend. All right, my loves. Thank you all so much for your time. So much for trying out the course and engaging with it and communicating with me and all that good stuff. You guys are amazing. You're so amazing. I just love it. So love you all. Take good care. Bye.